up, guys? Happy Saturday. My name is David. Welcome to a special Saturday stream here at Sin City Crypto, where we're going to cover some TA, some fundamental analysis, some charts, some price action. A lot of not big, but low volatility over the weekend, huh? Across the board, we got multiple volatility index. That's down. You see Bollinger Bands on a bunch of these altcoins start to get really tight. You look at something like XLM. This is a move that we're waiting for in a breakout. You can see here, I think it was on the 8-hour. I saw it was the 8 or the 6. You got tightening bands on the 8-hour. You got tightening bands on the 6-hour and on the 4-hour and on the 3-hour. Those things are about as tight as they come. And so this is happening at the top end of our range. And so we do have a limit order set at 25.88 cents. We do expect one more dip down to this region and then a breakout of this massive 3-month long. And let me remove the Bollinger Bands to make this chart a little cleaner. This massive 3-month long falling wedge pattern. And now, if you've been watching our show throughout the week, I believe it was yesterday, I kind of went through all the different previous times that Stellar Lumens has had long levels or long times of consolidation, falling wedges and channels specifically. And we've had significant breakouts each and every time. Although this is the one we're currently in is among one of the longer ones we've had. The longest one was around 142 days. This one's sitting at about 120 days. And again, we are expecting one more trip down to this 25.88 cent region. And then we believe this thing is going to break out. And the first level we're looking to take some profits is going to be right around 35.66 cents. And then we'll close our position, the entirety of our position around 43.62 cents, which is, if I remember correctly, around 50 cents. There was a large amount of sellers that stepped in. Around 7.6 billion XLM was traded in that region. And then on the way up as well, on the breakout, this level here, 31.35 cents, we had tons of buyers step in. Around $8.3 billion worth of XLM was bought the last time price was down here. And this was back on the 20th of December, where we had that nasty wick to the downside and price recovered, actually ended up closing the day green. But I do expect big moves to come. And I think, and let me know if you guys think this is wishful thinking, but I think ETH is about to break out, man. I really do. I think ETH is about to break out. Looks like we've kind of found a bottom here, right? The bears try to push the price all the way down to $17.55. We ended up closing right around $1,930, giving us this essentially a spinning top, but this is an indecision style candle, right? You got a tug of war going on between the bulls and the bears, perfectly hitting one resistance level and one support level on the bottom, and then price ends up closing within 5% of where it opened. You had another red candle, and then you have right now, and this is on the 2-day, you have about 3.5 hours left. This currently, as it stands, is an engulfing pattern, which is very bullish. Also, we got to look at where is this happening? Where is this bullish engulfing pattern happening? One, it's happening near a very, very important support level for ETH. And two, it's happening at the bottom of a massive downtrend spanning all the way to mid-December of 2024. Again, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I don't know. I think ETH is getting ready to break out. This might be worth a long on ETH. We'll see how this candle closes. On the lower time frame, this is on the daily. You do see a little bit of upwards momentum going there, and we can throw on our price action concepts. Take a look. The previous week low is currently sitting at 1992. Expect to get meet some resistance there, but the big level here for ETH to even consider me going back on the morning live show and telling Rob, I told you so, would be $2,150. We need to clear that level. You take a look at what ETH did at that level from a volume standpoint. This was a large volume node. You have a few here. One is sitting right around $1,942. The other one is sitting right at $2,150, and you have a bunch of them. And if we zoom into the 4-hour, you can see some of the selling. You had large volume nodes to the downside at $2,550 and at around $2,300. But for ETH, I don't know, man. I got a feeling this thing's about to break out. High time frames look pretty good. That's the 2-day. This is the 3-day. Let's take a look at what the week is. Looks like the week is going to close either a spinning top or a potential hammer. Hammer would be extremely bullish for Ethereum. You see something similar here back in September of last year. Now, this was an inverted hammer at the bottom of a downtrend, and we saw a clean reversal here for ETH, where price rallied up to from a low of around 2272 to its, I believe it's cycle high, yeah, around 82% it rallied. And so here's a, that's not a good example. But if you go through, you take a look at big downtrends, you want to see the first sign of reversal. Take a look at how the candles are performing. You take a look, the bodies start getting smaller, the wicks start getting larger, and then you have that one reversal candle. You had this engulfing, which we pretty much took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candle closes in one single candle. That is called strength, my friends, and the price of ETH rallied to around $4,000. I think we're going to see the same here with ETH. Again, I could be wrong. Let me know in the chat. Am I wishful thinking here? Am I off my rocker to think ETH is about to break out? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I just want to say what's up to the chat here. Brooke Yoshi, what's up, brother? Stefan Mallet, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in here. Thomas Keefe, what's going on, brother? Rusty, Flatsmack, Greg Nowak. What's up, Greg? A few times I've seen you in here. Welcome. Raul, what's up, brother? Raul, you're the one always crapping on Robin in the show, right? I like it. Yeah, you stay here. No Robin today. And then shout out to Nightbot, too. And Quarter Crawler, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Also, Frankie Finance. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Again, lots of low volatility in the weekend. I expect tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, I think prices are going to start moving. Let's take a look at what the markets are saying. Where prices are, Bitcoin 84.4. This is what the BTC chart looks like. Pretty damn boring. We are seeing some price accumulation right around that 84.1 level, which we pointed out as being extremely important. Now, this is on the 1 hour for BTC. And I believe on the 4 hour, our bull flag is still in play currently. We did have the nice breakout of the symmetrical triangle. We had a clean retest of this trend line, which was right around 83.5. Now, the move would be to push up. And so, but I am very indecisive right now. Sundays, we've usually seen big dumps. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but I think today is just going to chop sideways to the markets. I think we'll see a spike in volatility tomorrow. If I were to put percentages on it, I would say 60% we break to the upside and we test this 86 to 86.5 region. And 40% we break to the downside. If we take a look at, where did I see? Right here. So this is the whale order and large trades. You're seeing significant selling at this 84 level, but price has remained steady there. And so we'll see how long price stays here. The longer it stays there, in my opinion, the better. You're kind of anchoring the price action to that 84K level. We get enough bounces off of this level on the higher time frames, on the lower time frames, such as the 1 hour. It kind of solidifies this as, all right, 84K is now a strong support level. We flipped that pretty cleanly. You see here, 1, 2, 3. We essentially had a triple top here at 84K, which kind of played right into our symmetrical triangle pattern that we officially broke out of. Again, bull flag on the 1 hour, bull flag on the 4 hour, on the 2 hour, on the 3 hour. We do expect those to break to the upside. The probability of that is anywhere between like 68 to 72%. And so things are looking good for BTC. The one thing to keep an eye on, though, on the way up here, we did have a decent amount of sellers stepping in at around 85.3, which is around 2,000 BTC. But again, if we do get that break to the upside, I'm expecting 86 to 86.5 for BTC to catch some resistance. We're not going to take these levels out until we see some sort of upward momentum. And you can see here on the bottom, volume has just been absolutely falling off a cliff here. And as on the 1 hour, if we zoom into the daily, same thing. You're seeing volume start to decreasing volume, pretty low volume day today. And again, tomorrow expect some volatility. So with my 60-40 odds, I am more leaning on the side of not trading BTC, waiting to see if we do get that push up. If we do, I want to be able to short Bitcoin right around in this pocket here. The pocket between 86 and 86.5. I just don't think there's enough positive momentum for Bitcoin to rally through that level. At the very least, even if it's a 3-4% retracement, that's still a decent trade, especially in this market currently, as we're not seeing those parabolic runs just yet. I do think they're coming. But the play here for me, at least on BTC, is to wait and see what price does at 84K. How long do we consolidate here for? If we do get that breakout above, look to short around 86 to 86.5 and look to bring that thing back down to around 85.8 or closer to, 84.8. Or maybe we come back and retest this 84.1 level again. We'll just have to see what kind of volume we get in tomorrow. Is it going to be another big volatility day? But the trade I am most confident in right now is this trade right here, is the XLM trade. And so it's hard for me to not just cancel my limit order and just go market order right now. But I want to be patient. I want to stick to my plan. And so that just goes to show you, man, even when you've been in the space for 6 years, essentially 7, 8 years, you still get the urge sometimes to not follow your own rules because you feel like there's a pump coming. But I'm staying disciplined. I'm waiting for 25.888. I do have that limit order set here, as you can see, a 10x long on XLM at 25.88 cents. I think this thing is going to absolutely rip. Anytime XLM does this, the volume has completely fell off a cliff. We got bullish div on the 4-hour, we have bullish div on the 8-hour, and we have bullish div on the 1 day as well. So larger time frames, bullish divergence. And again, tightening range, Bollinger Bands are starting to constrict on the lower time frames, the 1 hour, 2, and the 3-hour. So I expect a big move coming from XLM. Unless the overall market just completely dumps, takes a crap, then there's nothing we can control. But from a technical standpoint, this chart looks pretty good. It's my favorite chart for the altcoins. All right, let's take a look here. This was an interesting chart here. This is Bitcoin's apparent demand. This is from CryptoQuant.io. And apparent demand has been falling since February 25th. And so I was trying to find a correlation here between the apparent demand falling and what price action does. And it seems like when apparent demand falls, at least going back to July of last year, when we saw apparent demand fall, we saw prices follow. Price went from around 68.4 down to a low of 54,000. Then the apparent demand started going back up. So did price. And so we're seeing this thing start to bottom. And this is going back to 2024, April of 2024. This is the lowest that apparent demand has been. So how much lower can this thing go? The other one I wanted to take a look at was the whale holdings. Percentage whale holding monthly change. The whales are absolutely accumulating. The whales are buying. And this is a tale, and let me remove myself from that side. This is a tale as old as time, okay? Retail gets spooked. They sell their bags. They freak out. They panic. And whales come in understanding that you have a fundamentally sound asset, a commodity that the government has recognized as being digital gold, enough so that they created a strategic reserve and are looking to pass legislation for it to make sure that no other administration moving forward can sell any of the Bitcoin they currently have, on top of looking for the budget neutral ways to accumulate more Bitcoin now. And they're getting those Bitcoins from retail investors, from retail traders, from the tourists that come here, spend a month and a half, 2 months, when the prices rallied already 50, 60%. They buy the top. They can't weather a 10 or 12 or 15% drawdown. They sell. The whales come in. They buy. They push the price back up. And those same people come back again. It's just a cycle that never ends. And so don't be one of those retail traders. If you have a thesis on Bitcoin and you hold it, don't panic sell. Don't freak out when the price draws down 20, 30% or 15, 20, whatever that amount is. If nothing has fundamentally changed, just don't do it, because you're going to end up being a statistic on this chart. Oh, look, the whales have been buying all the Bitcoin that you've been selling. Don't be one of those people. This is also interesting. This is from Token Terminal. This is L1s in terms of daily active addresses, and BNB is number 1. Number 2, Solana, Tron, Aptos, Bitcoin, and then Ronin. I have been talking about Ronin for quite a while. Everyone wants to talk about Gala. Everyone wants to talk about Avalanche when it comes to gaming, which there's nothing wrong with that. AVAX, cool. But outside of AVAX, you're not going to convince me that there's a better gaming play than Ronin. Just week after week, you look at their on-chain metrics, their stats, what they're doing, their TVL, it continues to rise. And looking at the active addresses for a L1 that is really only known for gaming to be the 5th largest daily active address blockchain, ahead of Ethereum, ahead of Polygon, ahead of Phantom, ahead of Avalanche, ahead of XRP, ahead of Kronos, ahead of everything except BNB, Solana, Tron, Aptos, and Bitcoin. And gaming hasn't even taken off yet. And so put Ronin on your radar. And in fact, let's take a look at what the Ronin chart's looking like. See if we can get it a good entry for maybe a spot position. And then maybe if we see a trade setup on Ronin as well. And I think I looked at this one more recently. Should be down here. There you are. So this is Ronin, and this is on the weekly. Oh, this looks pretty good. And so the first thing, the easiest thing I look at, and let's get rid of that, is just look at it candle by candle and look at what are the traders doing, okay? You have a hammer, you have essentially a hammer candle on the weekly time frame after a drawdown from, we'll take this wick, from a wick high of $4.46 to a wick low of 81 cents. This was an 84% drawdown over 357 days. And you just got, or you're about to get, there's a day left of this. You're about to get either a spinning top or you're about to get a hammer candle at the end of a large downtrend. What happened the last time? There's a few times that Ronin's had this happen. The first one here I'm seeing is on August 5th. We had that massive hammer candle. And when you talk about hammer candles, the color is not the important thing. The most important thing is the position. Is it in the middle of a chart? Is it in the bottom of a downtrend? Is it at the top of an uptrend? Obviously, you want a reversal. You want it at the top of an uptrend or the bottom of a downtrend. Having a hammer candle here is not really going to matter. But having a hammer candle after price declined 30% is very significant. And you take a look at how price reacted. We'll just take it from the close to the third week, 22%. You see another one spinning top here, or even this one, a gravestone doji, okay, which can also signify indecision in the market and a potential reversal. From here, price rallied around 30%. This was another one, essentially an inverted hammer at the bottom of a downtrend. This thing rallied another 13%. And then you see an example of the reverse is this massive hammer candle here, which ended up with that spill off. And then now we're getting again. Now we do have a day left. So tomorrow, so what is that? 4 hours, 4.5. So a day and 4 hours. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, we'll see what this candle looks like, but we could see a reversal. And we're also in our value zone here for Ronin. And so I think this is a great time to add to your spot bags. Of course, not financial advice. If we zoom into the daily chart, we take a look at where's some volume coming in. So tons of buyers at 91.99 cents. We do have a little bit of a bear flag here on the daily for Ronin. Let's see if we got any sort of trend change on the daily. Nope. On the 12-hour, no. Let's go to the lower time frames. We did get a confirmed trend change on the 4-hour chart here for Ronin. But let's look at the 1 hour. And so from 69 cents, this thing has rallied around 15%. But we did get a trend change to the downside. And you're looking at another bear flag forming here on Ronin on the 1 hour. And so we get rid of this. And we take a look at this. Take a look at what are some big order blocks coming. So you have one big order block here around. That's a big one. 30% of all volume traded happened here between 79 and 80 cents. Last time price was down here. We rallied 7%. What price it looks like it's breaking out from this area right now. So that's pretty good. Next thing we want to do is throw on an anchored VWAP. And let's go. Let's stay on the 1 hour and let's pick this. So if we do get a break to the downside, I would expect us to catch support at our upper band 1, which is the blue line here, which currently is sitting right around 77.78 cents. You can see how price has reacted there since this large volume trading area right around 68 cents. This is back on March 10th. We've seen bounces on this level here, and we've really stayed clear above that. And so if we do get a break out of this, and this ends up being a bear flag that breaks to the bottom, expect it to cast some support. So if you want, as far as a trade setup, might be a good idea to just put in a limit order right around, and we'll move this up a little bit, right around, let's just call it 78 cents. 78 cents, we should see a really nice bounce off a run in there. But as far as spot bags, what a great time. What a great time to accumulate. Anytime you've accumulated Ronin here, it has paid off fairly well. As you can see, the bottom end of this of our value area here is where Ronin had that bounce and that massive rally to current cycle highs, which is sitting at $4.51. And again, this is without the gaming narrative, even a smidge of taken off, right? No one's really talking about gaming, but watch when GTA 6 comes out and you have some other chains that are working on gaming. When that happens, you'll start seeing people rally into gaming. You'll see Gala pump, you'll see AVAX pump, and you'll see Ronin pump fairly big. And so that's kind of my thesis on Ronin. Great time to add to your spot bags. Limit order at 77 cents for a long position if you are looking to trade. Also, if you're looking for a platform to trade, we do recommend Buy DeFi, but we also have a Mexi and a Hotcoin link in down below. Also, if you have any questions, anything you want me to take a look at, please let me know. It's kind of an impromptu stream, but I think we're going to be doing this moving forward on Saturdays. Also, I think throughout the week, I'm going to be pushing up the start time of the trading show. It won't be at 4:45. It'll probably be closer to 1:30. That's Pacific time, so around 4:30 Eastern. So I know that's a pretty big move as far as timing goes, but it's something we looked at analytics. We met with a YouTube growth company. They recommended to push that back a little bit. And so that's what we're going to do. We're always looking to grow and evolve our channel. And so Dark Energy, what's going on, brother? How you guys doing? Usman said, husband. No idea what you guys are talking about. Didn't you say we're going to pull back again? Yeah, I did say we're going to pull back again. But I also said we're going to see one more rally, right? One more rally. And my one more rally is up to 86, 86.5. And then we get a spill off, dip into the mid 70s. Max pain for me is 71.6. Is here. Let me go to the weekly. Max pain for me is the top end of this box. Okay. This is where price really spent. I mean, you talk about accumulation. This is where price spent a majority of his time. And again, this is on the weekly. I'm going to zoom into the daily. You can see. It was just range bound. This is after the initial ETF rally. Prices were range bound. The top level of this, of the top end of our zone here, was tapped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. We had one more pullback, and then we rallied to all-time highs. If the top end of this does not hold, I mean, it's like 60K. I don't think that's going to happen, though. So that's not my base case. But yeah, you're right. I said it's going to dip down, but I've also said we're going to see a relief rally. It's going to trap a lot of bulls. People are going to start thinking that the markets are going to turn, and then we get one more flush down because I don't think the stock market bottom is in. You take a look at the NASDAQ. Unless we see just an immediate reversion, the NASDAQ chart looks pretty damn ugly, okay? This is your NASDAQ chart. This is on the daily. We broke below this massive 4-year trend line. This 3-year trend line, excuse me. But I think the more important one here for me is we broke below our 200-day moving average ribbon. So that's never good. And historically, when the NASDAQ has done that, from when it initially broke below its 200-day moving average ribbon, from high to low, NASDAQ went down 30%. That's a big move in the NASDAQ. And so anytime we've had any sort of, and let me get rid of these. Anytime we've had any sort of breakout or break below our 200-day moving average ribbon, it's been an almost immediate recovery, right? You see here, one candle closed below, One candle closed below, and then we closed up and we started going up. This one, small deviation, immediately came back above our 200-day moving average. This one, we had a gap down, and then still we closed above our 200-day moving average ribbon. And we look at where we are now. We've spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days total below our 200-day moving average. If we go back here, and of course, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it sometimes rhymes, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days. We had a little bit of a relief rally, and then it just continued to spill off, making lower lows. We attempted to reclaim, rejected, and that's when we had that massive spill off. This was back in March of 2022. And then we started to trade below. We started to see a little bit of momentum to the upside. We finally broke above, came back to retest, and it was up only from there. So with that being said, stock market bottom, in my opinion, is not in. And so if the stock market is going to have more downside, it's easy to come to the conclusion that Bitcoin's probably going to have a little more downside, although it's not going to be. I think Bitcoin's way closer to a bottom than the stock market is. And so that's kind of my thesis. One more relief rally to 86, 86.5, a push back down to mid to high 70s, and then a spring shot. Markets recover. We're in Q2 / middle of Q2, April, May, Bitcoin conference. You start seeing narratives kick off, the whole tariff thing. And so there's a lot at play here, but that's just my thesis. I could be wrong. It's just what I think. So I don't know if you guys agree with me, disagree with me, but that's kind of my thesis. I tagged you guys in that casino stock post. Yeah, all the stock, Redman, what's up, brother? All the Caesars and MGM Grand, Wynn, stocks are all trading up. But I'm telling you, man, I live in Vegas. And when you go on the strip on a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it is jam-packed. And I was down there about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and it was dead. It was pretty damn dead, man. And so I know a lot of people that work in the casinos, in the restaurant industry, and it's not. And this whole tariff thing and fighting with Canada, and it's not good for tourism here in Vegas as well. And so Americans are broke. At least the average American is broke. They don't have a lot of discretionary income to come to Vegas. Then you got the casinos that are hiking, like MGM Grand just announced they hiked up their parking rates. Like, come on, man. So it's just not like the tourism is down. And so discretionary income is down. So it's kind of where we're at. So this is a largely institutional driven, this is going to be a largely institutional and whale driven rally. And again, what have they been doing? They've been doing that. They've been buying. So of course the whales, total balance is going up. 30-day percent change is the highest it's been since December of last year when Bitcoin reached its all-time high. Got up to around $109,000. So that's kind of where we're at, man. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not afraid. It's not my first cycle. Other thing I want to take a look at was, and by the way, I'm only showing this to kind of show you guys what these meme coins and these celebrity coins, what you typically see 99.9% of the time. Okay, this is Kanye West coin. I hope none of you bought it, but take a look at all these trades. They're all bots, every one of them. Okay, and these are the highest trades: 760,000 trading bot, trading bot. Trading bot, trading bot, trading bot, trading bot. So you're literally, if you're still in the meme coin casino trying to catch a new token a celebrity launched, you are going to lose your money. You are going to lose your money as a human being trading against bots that in not even a millisecond, whatever ratio is lower than a millisecond, that is the time it takes for them to enter and exit trades. And we're over here trying to sit and go to Jupiter and then select this coin and then this much and then adjust the slippage. And then you're going to lose money, man. You're going to. So don't do it. And this thing rallied up to, I think this is 50 million TVL or 50 million and is down 50%. And so, and not to mention, it's like it's fucking Kanye. Anyways, I'm not even going to say the name of the coin. But yeah. Anyways, I want to know, what are you guys bullish on, man? What projects are you the most bullish on? Everyone except Muhammad. I know you're bullish on literally nothing. Shout out to you, Muhammad. What are you guys bullish on? You know, I'm pretty bullish on a few things. Trade-wise, I'm bullish on XLM. I'm bullish on ETH. I think ETH is gonna rally. I'm also bullish on AVAX. This is what I was starting to show you guys. And this is, let's go here. So this is super chart from CoinGlass, and I removed everything except the price action, the aggregated futures bid and ask delta. Okay, so how many buyers versus how many sellers, and the funding rates. So you have shorts paying longs to go. So people are incentivized to put in long positions on Avalanche because the funding rates are negative. You have the bid and ask price, the delta, is continuing to ramp up. And so with very few, and this is on the 1 hour, with very few negative deltas. And so people are buying Avalanche, and you can see this breakout. Actually, that looks kind of nice. Let's take a peek at AVAX. I love AVAX. Daniel Kaufman, are you in here? If you're not, you should get in here because I'm talking about your favorite project. Seems like it's actually your only project. Let's get rid of this. Start with a high time frame. So this one was a symmetrical triangle. Not really. We had three touch points. You can say this was a deviation below, but on the lower end, this was a pretty nice level of support. But that broke. And on the weekly, at least, you're seeing, again, a potential hammer candle, which could signify a reversal in the price of Avalanche. Any bullish div? Nope. Let's go to the daily. Potential bear flag on the daily. And I think, I mean, you go back to November of 2023 was the last time we were in our value area. That's between $18 and $8. So big range. But we've seen really clear bounces. And so when we look back, maybe a month from now, and we have, you know, another month's worth of candles, can we look at this as another deviation? Right? Can we look at it as another deviation into this value area before we got a nice bounce? For Avalanche, we throw this on. Big volume block at 13% here, around $24 to $26. Another thing I want to do is I want to throw on an anchored VWAP. Let's go back here. I want to go. Okay. So it's been trading between our upper band 1, lower band 2. Okay. So your blue, your teal, and your yellow. We're catching support on the yellow fairly nicely with some really nice bounces. This bounce here was a 22% bounce. The bounce off of this wick was a 25% bounce. The bounce here was a 10% bounce. And so will we visit down here again? That would be pretty ugly. Around $11. I don't think so. But this is something to keep an eye on the way up for a potential exit. Exit if you're looking to long this thing. Also, you look at money flow. Money flow is looking pretty good here. This is from our custom indicator, the liquidity flow index, and we're seeing a reversal in the sentiment trend. So once this crosses the midline, that's another really good signal that the reversal is in play here for AVAX. That's not what I wanted. I want this one. Let's look at some volume nodes. So you got tons of big buy volume nodes ranging between $18.50 and $22. Avalanche is so undervalued for what the value proposition is, what the utility is, what it's looking to do. I mean, at the very least, and of course, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but at the very least, buy some AVAX for your spot bags and just sit there, man. And just sit there. The project's not going anywhere. The team's amazing. Their utility is great. They're working with governments. They're working with retail. They got so many things, gaming, right, off the grid. I mean, there's so many things to Avalanche that to look at these levels, anytime you would have bought in these levels, at every point, you would have been in the green. And so these are times where in the moment, you might not be as bullish on it, but when you look back 6 months from now, you'll be like, thank God, man. AVAX is at $120. Damn, what a steal at $19.15. What an absolute steal. Now, from a trading standpoint, I am not touching this thing. I want to see what 1917 does. Actually, I want to see what 1882 does, because it looks like we're starting to see some consolidation here. If we go out to the lower time frame, yep. So consolidation at key levels, you want to see which way price breaks. Can the bulls take control of the price action on the 4 hour, on the daily, on the 6 hour, and push the price up? Or is the negative momentum just too high? And by the way, we did get a bullish crossover on the money flow here on the 4 hour, so that's pretty good. And so I'm not touching AVAX on a trade, not seeing anything real clear for me. If I had to, I would probably put in a short. Why? Every time price tries to encroach on this large volume node here, right around 19.13 cents, it's getting rejected. We're getting rejected on wicks, and the current candle is getting rejected as well. And so maybe another spill off back down to 1878. Or maybe even a little lower, back down to maybe 1848. I know these are kind of shorter windows of price, or shorter. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Shorter discrepancy or whatever, and so it's less of a gap. So, anyways, bullish on AVAX for the spot bags. For the trades, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. All right, I'm just peeking into the chat. Poman said, Poman, I sent you a message on X. I need your address. I can send you $100. You won yesterday, $100 in USDC. So make sure you send me your address. And then one more thing I wanted to take a look at was H-bar. Pretty sure, was H-bar on the thumbnail today? I forget what my thumbnail guy put on the thumbnail. Let's take a peek. H-bar was on the thumbnail, which means I have to look at H-bar, right? I don't like to do clickbait. Sometimes we forget. H-bar still looks pretty damn good. Excuse me. This is on the daily for H-bar. Bullish divergence still in play. As we got another bounce off of our trend line here on the RSI. Lower lows on the price, higher lows on the RSI. This is looking good. We're also at a key level. We're at the top end of our value area box, which sits at around 19 cents. And I told you guys, Hedera at 17 cents is an absolute steal. So last time we came down here, there was around 12.42 billion Hedera that was bought that pushed the price up 60%. Hedera is one of the most undervalued cryptocurrency projects. And honestly, when I look at price action and when I look at what Hedera wants to do, if market conditions were better, this would be trading at 75 cents to $1. If this was your classic bull market where we got the all-time high after the halving, you didn't have the trade wars and the uncertainty in the economy, and if that had happened, H-bar, I have no doubt in my mind, well, maybe like a 1% doubt in my mind, that H-bar would be currently trading at 75 cents to $1. So when the market conditions change, when macro changes, when the overall sentiment changes, I think Hedera is going to absolutely explode. I really do. And so super bullish on H-bar. I added some into my spot bag at around that 18 cent level, 17, 18 cent level. And you can see here, lots of indecisions, man. Lots of big wicks, small bodies, right? And these wicks are touching important support and resistance levels. And again, we talk about single candle patterns. This is another hammer and price rally. So things to look out for, but you're seeing a tightening range here for H-bar. And actually, this looks like a mini. And again, keep in mind, this is on the 4 hour. This looks like a mini symmetrical triangle, right? If you take this to the wick, it's not a pretty one. It's kind of ugly, but you see how that range is getting tighter, larger range. This range was around a 13% range, and now we're currently trading within a 2% range. And these bands are starting to get tighter. Let's look at the 2 hour. These bands are, I mean, there's volatility coming. I don't think it's going to be today. I think it's going to be tomorrow. And I think ETH is going to break out. I think XLM is going to break out. I think Bitcoin will rally to 86.5 and kind of stall. I think you'll see a bigger rally from alts. And then I think you'll see a pullback, a big pullback. And so that's kind of my thesis. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll do another stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream is going to be a laid back, chill stream. Recap this week. Look forward to the following week or to the upcoming week. Kind of just be a community driven stream. I'm not going to have anything planned. Maybe have a couple tweets. Mostly interact with you guys. Maybe do a Q&A, look at some portfolios. We'll keep it pretty chill for tomorrow. But I don't know what time. Weekends is family time for me, and so I kind of do the stream time around what my wife has planned for us and the kids. And so I don't know if it's probably going to be towards the morning time. And so just make sure you're subscribed and have your notification bell on. With that being said, guys, I love you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Peace. What? Why are you laughing?